back to the Grassroots 304 podcast. This is episode 12. No, this is episode 13. Getting off on my numbers here a little bit. We've got some special guests in the studio here this evening. They're going to be playing live at the shop tonight, starting at 9 or 9:30, 10 o'clock, something like that. We'll go down the line here and let everybody introduce themselves. Starting out with you.
I'm Emily Jamison. I'm from Building Rockets from Ironton, Ohio.
Yeah. My name's Eric Robbins. I'm from the Parachute Brigade. Solo tonight.
And I'm Jeremiah Hatfield. Jay Hatfield is, I guess, the band that I'm playing with tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the whole band, collectively.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on the show, guys. Yeah, welcome.
Thanks
Thanks
for
for
having
having
us.
No problem. Is this your all's first time here at the shop?
Yep, it is mine for sure.
Visited before. This is first time playing and everything.
Yep.
I was here. Our bass player also plays for Dark Moon Hollow, and they played either earlier this year or late last year. I remember it was icy out back.
Yeah.
I nearly fell once.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But it was really fun in here that night.
It's a lot changed since then.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they've been building it up and making it more, well, as you can see, more of a venue than. I mean,
Oh,
there was
yeah.
still a venue last time, but there's just a lot more to it now than there was before. So, and actually, what's that band called? Dark Moon.
Dark Moon Hollow.
Okay, I think they're going to be playing here again, maybe next week.
Yep.
On the 16th.
Yep,
Yeah.
Friday night, I think.
Okay, cool. Just ask about them a little bit. Are they bluegrass?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going to speak too much to that because I feel my own way
Right,
about
right.
what they play,
Yeah.
and I don't want to.
Label them as
I don't want to
something
label
that
them
they-
as something that they
Right.
don't want to be labeled as.
I got you.
Progressive bluegrass is what I would consider it, but don't take that as Bible.
All right, cool.
Come find out for yourself.
That's a good way to put it. Now, can you tell me about yourself?
Yeah, man. Just a singer-songwriter from Beckley, West Virginia originally. And, been lucky enough to run into this great community of musicians and venues like this, man. And I've just been doing it for a few years now, trying to, get the music out there and be a part of a community and just stick around here in West Virginia. It's trying to pour some more love into it, man.
Okay, could you describe your sound of music?
Yeah. So when I write songs, usually it's expressing some amount of doubt or pain. So there's a lot of that in it mixed with some hope, just a kind of acoustic. So most of my songs start as very small acoustic songs. And then once I bring it to the band, they kind of grow and change, and everyone kind of writes, and we add stuff to it and take stuff away.
Okay.
And then I'm also playing drums in Jay Hatfield, which has
Okay.
been awesome too. So
All right, awesome. So
Yeah.
you're doing both tonight then?
yeah, that's it, man. Double
All right,
duty.
cool. All right, and Jeremiah, tell me about yourself and tell me about the band.
Well, I am a musician from here in Charleston. I also play in the Parachute Brigade. I won't be playing with Eric tonight. He's going solo. But yeah, and so usually I play solo acoustic most of the time. But whenever I have an opportunity to bring a band, that's usually what I try to do. So basically, I feel like we play distorted folk songs. Electric folk songs. I think it's where I'm still playing with that in my head, but I feel like I'm a folk writer,
Electric folk.
but sometimes it's just fun to like make a lot of noise.
Right. Yeah.
That sounds very progressive.
Well, yeah. Well, I guess we'll see.
Okay, cool. So, I guess for all three of you, is this your all's first time? Well, I guess your band and them playing together is this the first time together?
Oh no, me and Jeremiah have played together plenty of times.
Okay, so you're no strangers then.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
awesome.
I think this is
Yeah.
the first time that we've met. Maybe one other time.
Thank you.
We've met before at like festivals and things.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah,
thinking.
but this is the first like actual venue show,
Right.
build show that
Yeah.
we've been on. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, what's some festivals that you played at before?
We played the Ohio River Revival. That's on the Ironton, Ohio riverfront. That's third or fourth year running. I think it was this past year was the third year. And then we played Sweet Lane of Liberty Fest in, down in Kentucky. It'll come to me later.
Yeah.
Rock Castle Riverside. That's
Okay.
where I was getting at.
Okay.
Gosh, you asked me too quick.
It's all right, not to put you on the spot or anything.
Yeah, it's. All right, somebody who's up next.
Hey, Eric.
Yeah.
All right, have you played any music festivals, or you've just been starting recently to play solo?
Yeah. I've played a decent amount of festivals. I think it's something we'd like to do more of. I love festivals, and we'd love to get on some of the bigger build ones and
Right.
But mostly, anytime there's like a river festival or we got to play Live on the Levee this past summer, which it's kind of not a festival, kind of is. It's like,
Right.
an all-day thing, so it kind of feels like, has the same feel as that.
It's
But,
Live on the Levee that's in downtown Charleston, right on the riverfront. At Riverfront Park.
right.
Yeah. It's a good way to get exposure as well.
Definitely, man.
There's a different crowd that's down there than would be at, a music festival, at least what I would consider a music festival. Music festivals vary, depending on what's played there, so it's
Right.
a little bit short-minded. But as it goes, what about Mountain Music Fest? Have you ever thought about trying to get your music submitted to them to possibly open up and play?
Yeah, man, we'd love to play Mountain Music Fest. We played a while ago, probably like 5 years ago. We played on the smaller stage that's kind of out towards where all the tents are.
Oh, yeah, the Strange Stage.
The Strange Stage,
Yeah.
yes. We played that a few years back, and it was really, really great. But we haven't had the chance to be back yet, but we're hoping to get back on Mountain Music Fest. That's what's cool about the festivals in West Virginia is they're so diverse, too. You got stuff like Mountain Music Fest, which is kind of more broad and bigger stages and things, and then you got like Culture Fest, which is like camping there just feels like you're just like in a dreamland of like healing energy, so it's just, I don't know, it's cool to see all the different creative expressions that people do through their festivals and how they set them all up and stuff. It's pretty cool, so we're hoping to do more of the local festivals this year for sure.
Okay. And
Yeah.
Jeremiah, you guys have been playing for a while. You mentioned you play in the Parachute Brigade.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you're familiar to all the places in Charleston around the area. You ever get outside of West Virginia much?
I'm trying to more. I have played in Ohio and Kentucky quite a bit because it's good to make friends. So it's now that I'm kind of going out and doing solo, because typically I was just a guitar player who would fill in for bands or do studio work, and then in Parachute Brigade I just play guitar. And so this is the first time kind of for me coming out and doing my own music. So I'm trying to expand more. Part of the reason of wanting to play my own music was to give me an excuse to travel more. So I think Eric and I are actually right in the middle of booking about a week of shows out in Kansas City in January, which, we didn't think through trying to drive to Missouri in the middle of January, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
But we just get excited and be like, all right, let's go.
Right.
You gotta live life a little bit, right?
Yeah.
For sure.
Why not? I'm gonna grab my drink here. You guys want a drink?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the whiskey.
Well, there we go.
Whiskey and water. Thanks, man.
Yeah, no
That's a
problem.
Pedal Explorer song.
Cheers.
Just slightly parched. No, I think you got everything. Hey, everybody good?
I would like a water whenever, like no rush.
Hey, nice.
Hmm.
Look at that.
Ask and you shall
you.
receive
Wow.
with that.
Awesome.
Quick.
Okay, so if you guys weren't playing music in a band, what would you be doing? What would you be doing right now? What kind of job would you be working?
Well, right now I have a very full-time job.
Yeah, okay.
Right now music, as serious as we're trying to take it, I've been also working on a career for a long time. So funny thing is that during the week I sell refractory and steel mills.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Sounds interesting.
across the Northeast. So I'm the district manager of sales of a company that manufactures refractory. So
And what's a refractory?
okay, so not to bore anyone, to stop me if you don't want to know.
No,
So-
I wanna know, that's what I'm asking.
So in a steel mill, you've got the big honey pots where they're melting the steel. They pour that into a tundish, which pours then into the molds. So all of that has to be coated with a sacrificial material that burns clean. So it's basically what we do. We sell everything that lines every vessel that holds molten steel.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, I think.
Thank you.
It'd be probably even cooler to work out there around that stuff. But having a nice cush office job, I imagine.
Oh
is-
no, it's not an office
It's
job.
not an office
No,
job?
I
Okay,
am
so-
I am in there.
Yeah.
In there like swimwear. I'm in metatarsals and FR clothes
Really?
5 days a week.
Okay, yeah, my bad.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's to the point where I come home from work some days and I tell JD, the bass player in our band, is my fiance, and I'm like, you wouldn't like my job if you knew what I did in a day.
Yeah.
It's like,
Wow.
so we'll pull up like YouTube videos of, you know, casters and stuff and melt shops and steel mills, and he's like, you just walk there? I'm like, no, not on the walkway, in the bottom.
Wow, it sounds dangerous.
Not if you bless it before you go in.
Bless it.
You gotta bless it. You gotta look up, down, side to side. Make sure nothing's above you. There's not a pit. There's nothing coming either way. And then you're good to go.
Okay, very interesting. Very interesting. I don't know if I'd be capable to handle that job. Maybe, maybe not. But it sounds cool.
You'd be just fine.
Yeah. Okay.
If I can do it, you could do it.
Okay. Cool. I couldn't help from noticing your leopard print that you have on.
Yes.
Yeah. I have Bengals at home that have the same distinctive markings. Those are called rosettes. If you didn't know.
I'll be damned. I did not know that.
Yeah. So I'm cat daddy. I'm
Cat
kind of
daddy.
like
Okay.
I'm kind of almost like the Joe Exotic of Charleston. In a way. At least that's what they used to tell me.
My only question is, why are they not here with us?
Right.
Right?
Why are they
Yeah.
not like on the
That's a good
couch
question.
Yeah.
and walking around? And,
Because I am here in their place.
Yeah, right. Maybe I could do that sometime.
Please don't pet me.
Yeah.
now, see, that'll get more people to watch.
That's fair.
If they're like, "Whoa, check out these cool cats."
They are pretty neat. They're high energy. They kind of act like dogs a little bit, but they're very loyal and very loving, and it's pretty neat.
Do you have to like feed them like raw turkey? Is that right? Something like, do you have a
Some
special
people-
diet?
It's good to feed them raw meat.
Yeah.
Because there is a like instincts within them. There's certain things because they are still pure blooded.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to feed them some raw meat, but they eat regular cat food too. They eat actually grain-free cat food.
Oh, nice.
They usually eat grain-free cat food.
I got
Nice.
you.
And every once in a while, I'll feed them some raw hamburger.
Yeah.
That's as far as it goes. So.
Very cool. That's awesome, man. I've seen videos of Bengals online. I've always like been like, man, I'd love to have. I'm not even a cat guy, but Bengals, that's some serious stuff, man.
I
They're
heard
cool.
plural. How many are there?
Well, I breed them, so I've got.
Oh.
Snap, cat daddy for real.
Cat daddy. No, this is cat papaw.
Yeah, it's like a shameless plug here, cat papaw. Some people think it's like you just like let your cats bang. That's all you do. That's just part of it. But so I've got. Geez, how many do I have? I've got 1, 2, 3 females. 2 females are retired, and I have one that she's getting ready to. She's mature now, so she's ready. But it's my male. Then I have 1 male. Here, I kind of got off subject. I've got 3 females and 1 male, so I've got 4 Bengals.
Yeah.
Nice.
My male's still a stud, but the 2 females are his girlfriends, and they're fixed. And then the new one, where she is now starting to become mature, I'm trying to get them acclimated together, but like he's kind of a big pussy and he's scared of her, so it's still going to take a little bit of time. And yeah, eventually it'll be right.
So you can bring her in as a sister wife.
As a sister wife, I don't know what a sister wife is.
You said the other two females were his girlfriends, so they have to be okay with her too, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
There's a show on TLC about that.
Is there really?
There is.
Not about cats.
Not about cats. No.
I would
Not cat sister.
I mean, honestly, I would love for it to be about cats.
It's like polygamy. Is that what you're talking about?
It's like dating polygamy or something like that, where it's like couples taking other people on dates.
Yeah. It sounds.
Now I'm way off topic.
To each their own, I suppose. Right? Like whatever. It's whatever makes you happy. Hey, it's my podcast. I can say what I want.
Yeah.
There's some guys that are cucks out there, and they're okay watching their significant other, be with somebody else. Right? To each their own. You guys
Yep.
look shocked.
I'm not shocked.
Cool. So aside from polygamy and cats, I don't know, what else? What do you do besides music?
Yeah. So right now I'm working for a production company.
Yeah.
They do a lot of work for nonprofit organizations, and so I'm just lugging around microphones. So it still feels like I like anything where you feel like you're getting into a car with a group of people, and it's like you're pirates. You have a mission,
Yeah.
and you go travel to another place, and you get out. No matter what, if it's music, no matter what it is, if I can get a little bit of gold
Right.
to fit the pirate thing, then
Pillaging.
then it's that's what I love doing. So anything I can find doing. So right now I'm working with them and going on just little trips here and there, working for different organizations, just making really cool commercials for all these small businesses, and it just feels like it's kind of giving back even when I'm doing that. So
That's cool.
just doing that, and they got me doing some music for some of the commercials and scoring some. And I've wanted to score films since I was a kid. So
Yeah.
I'm starting to finally get some of those opportunities. So it's been really cool.
Is there any commercials that we may recognize if we watch TV?
Yeah, man. They do MC&B Banks commercials, and I was watching YouTube the other night, and I forgot that I had signed. They needed an actor for it, and normally I'm just the boom pole guy.
Right.
I was like, yeah, I'll do it. So I put khakis on, a button-up shirt, and looked fancy, and I went and did it. And I was watching YouTube one night, real late, and there it was, commercial. I was like, wow. That's so weird. I was just standing there shaking somebody's hand.
Right.
MC&B Banks, but pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, lots of cool little opportunities like that. It's been fun.
Yeah, but
Fun
it's
time.
weird to see yourself like on camera though, isn't it?
I hate it. I hate it every second of it. Yeah.
Do you think that the camera adds 10 pounds?
20 for me. It
Yeah,
feels
I
like.
feel the same way too.
Yeah.
I had this big bushy beard. I went since like August up until about 3 weeks ago. Big, huge beard. Record a podcast. Watched it later. I was like, man, I need to shave that beard because I look extra fat with it. But yeah, so as I think about it, it's weird to see myself on camera too because I'm still getting used to this and I'm new at it. So yeah, it's kind of odd sometimes. But
Right.
Whatever.
I have a funny story to add to that. As you saying that you forget that you're in things. So there have been 2 different times where I've kind of accidentally landed in kind of like promo videos.
Yeah.
And one of them was for Travel West Virginia, and their snow thing. So I'm pretty sure that somewhere in Snowshoe, I am in like the snow walking pamphlet.
Nice.
But the funniest one was a friend of ours posted on Facebook. He does a lot of the photography and videography and stuff around. He works for the Chamber of Commerce in Lawrence County where we live. And he said, hey, I had some actors back out, and we have a professional videographer coming down to shoot our tourism video. Do I have a couple that is available tomorrow from like 8 to 5? You're just going to drive around in a Bronco and go to all these places in the county. So I was available, and I asked JD, and he was like, I'll do it. And he hates this video. It's hilarious. I mean, it's adorable. I think it's adorable. He thinks it's awful. And a friend of ours was at the state building and there for like the tourism. I think she was there for like a tourism meeting or something. And they're playing these videos 'cause I guess a bunch of counties did them and used the same production company. And so they're playing these videos, and she walked in, and there's JD and I like walking across the screen through Vesuvius Lake. It's like, I am so sorry that that's playing there.
That's funny.
Eric, there is one you forgot. The one commercial you scored.
Oh, what? The kids?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
did a kids song for as a health. It's promoting just healthy lifestyles for kids, eating their fruits and veggies. So that was another thing I got to do was like write a kids song. It was really fun. I haven't done anything like that before, but and I used to be a drum teacher, so I got like a heart for like teaching kids music and doing that. I think if I wasn't doing this and I just quit music, I would probably be a music teacher. So I'd still be doing music, but just in a whole different way. But yeah.
Well, it's cool to be able to, I guess, in a way, give back and to inspire young children to play music as well and become musicians one day.
Yeah, man, it's super fulfilling. I taught for years at a School of Harmony in Beaver, West Virginia.
Beaver, okay, I've done some
Yeah.
hunting out in Beaver before.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, good old Beaver. And yeah, that was really fulfilling and great. And I hope to get back into teaching again at some point.
That's cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. And Jeremiah, what do you do outside of music?
I actually teach lessons as well over at Folklore Music Exchange.
Okay. Where's that located?
That is downtown Charleston at 1025 Courier Street.
Give a shout out.
Yeah. And but the guy playing bass for me tonight, Justin, he and his wife, the bass player for the Parachute Brigade, are the owners.
Okay.
And so yeah, and I'm down there. I usually give lessons Tuesday through Thursdays and stuff like that. But other than that, it's playing solo shows and doing studio fill-ins and gig fill-ins and stuff like that on guitar and stuff like that too. So it's just music right now.
Okay, so if it weren't music, what would it be?
I don't even know, because I've been doing this at this point long enough that I don't know anything else.
When you were a little kid, when you were a little boy, what were your aspirations as
This.
dogs? This, really? Okay, awesome.
Before I even started playing, I was like riding on the school bus at 4th grade, listening to my CD player, looking out the window, like imagining myself on a stage playing what I was listening to. And I hadn't ever even like picked up a guitar or anything. It was just something in my head that was like, but it also gave me opportunities to get out of like my small hometown, because a lot of times, you know, you come from small places and stuff, sometimes it's easy to get stuck there. And,
Right.
you know, and music has given me opportunities and is pretty much the reason I know everybody that I know at this point too. So like at this point, I don't know. I would probably still do the traveling part. I would just not have music to fall back on. So at least now as I'm traveling, I can at least go to a bar and say, hey, like I can play a song for some money. But I don't know.
You mean to tell me you didn't want to work at Jurassic Park?
Yeah, but that's not a real job. I don't know.
Paleontology?
Not yet.
I never actually got into paleontology. I just loved the movie.
Fair enough.
Still do.
Yeah.
It's actually like, I don't have my house key is on a Jurassic Park keychain.
Right.
Yeah.
His real name is actually Jurassic Hatfield.
Yeah, that's what the J stands for.
Yeah.
Actually, the reason that I know you is because of a Jurassic Park shirt.
Really?
Sort of. So the night that we actually met, when the band I was in, Marguerite, played with you guys in Lewisburg,
Yeah.
I was on stage playing, and I had a Jurassic Park sticker on my guitar. And Justin, bass player tonight, he opens up his shirt and he says, hey, and he's got a Jurassic Park shirt on.
Yeah.
And it was actually one of those literal moments where he said, are we best friends? And then we actually were. And then here we are 8 years later.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome, man.
that Jurassic Park is the reason I'm in the Parachute Brigade.
That's right.
Which is the reason why you're in my band now, too. So
Right.
full circle all around.
That's awesome.
I don't want music played at my funeral. I want Jurassic Park played. That's what I want. As people are coming in and like paying their respect, I just want a large TV, just Jurassic Park played on loop. Mark that down. Is this legal? Is this a legal binding
We're going to
agreement?
deep fake your face on every dinosaur, though.
McLean is a notary, so I don't know if we need to
Oh,
call
we
him in
should
right
have called
now.
him back.
Now, I was thinking about it. Do you know any McCoys? Got any feuds with McCoys?
Not any live ones.
Not any live ones. Good one. Yeah, of course. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe some people watching, at least West Virginia people, would know the story
Yeah.
of the Hatfields and McCoys. But for those outside of watching, because we did have some people from France tuning in the other night. Crazy.
Nice.
Hatfields and McCoys is a famous story of two families from southern West Virginia and Kentucky. Can't remember which side each of them are on. But
Oh,
they had a
Hatfield,
feud.
West Virginia.
Hatfield's West Virginia, McCoy's are Kentucky, okay? And they had a feud over a pig, is that right? A pig that was stolen from one to the other sort of thing.
More or less. And I will say I'm not, just because I have the name, I am not an authority, so anything I say may or may not be true. So take that how you will. But I think that was the catalyst, but there was tension building up to
Right.
that. It wasn't just like, oh, that's my pig, and then
It's just
death.
one day, that was
Yeah.
the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, more or less.
I don't
Yeah.
know, put something with it with a pig.
Yeah.
It's the straw that broke the pig's back.
What was the guy's name? There was a young boy, right?
Jonesy.
Jonesy, yeah.
Yeah.
I just finished the series on the Outdoor Channel. It's very good, by the way.
Oh,
Yes.
really?
Oh
Yeah.
no, that series was great.
Yeah.
I loved it. Yeah.
That's really good.
And
Learned a lot, too. Kevin Costner.
I think it's. I think that series was supposed to be like pretty. Pretty spot on. I think it. Well, not. I mean, of course they took a lot of liberties, but I think it was pretty much like as close as anything has been.
Yeah.
Movie wise.
Yeah, definitely. My dad had some tapes that he would want me to listen to, and they were like drive around the town tapes where it showed you like historic places or whatever in Pikeville,
Right.
Kentucky. And that's all I really knew was like stuff I learned from that. But seeing it in like a really good format, you learn the story really well. It's just such a great story, man.
Mhm.
I mean, crazy that that's actually the history. You know, it's
Oh,
wild.
yeah. I wanted to bring that up since I noticed that earlier.
Yeah.
It's something cool to talk about.
I've had people ask me at shows and be like, "That's just your stage name, isn't it?"
Like, yeah.
Like I have to like show them my license and be like, "No."
It's my government name.
Yeah.
Right. I do the same thing too. People don't believe me. So Michael Grass, and they're like, "That's not real."
Oh,
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, all right, cool. So let's see. Does Building Rockets have any new music coming up? You guys writing anything? Got anything in the works?
So we have some of the older stuff that I've written in the works right now. We just had an album come out on Memorial Day weekend. We worked on it for, probably 8 months before we got it out. We actually formed the band during COVID. Mm-hmm. So before COVID, I was playing solo acoustic, and one day McLean, our guitar player, and JD, our bass player, were at band practice at JD and I's house with another band, and they were like, "Hey, you want to try one of your songs?" It's like, sure. So we played that day, decided we liked it, recorded an EP, had it out in February of 2021, and then everything was still kind of on shutdown at that point, so I think we played, 2 gigs in we probably played more than that. We played that was 2020. We played 1 gig in 2020, I think. And then 2021, we worked on the album a lot. And also, everyone in our band plays in other really great bands too. So, with my job and their jobs and the other bands and stuff like that, we get in where we fit in. So if we have a weekend coming up or something, we've got to make sure that everyone's calendars are blacked out, you know, that whole thing. But we recorded the album a lot in 2021, got it out May 20-something of this year, and have not planned to go back to the studio yet, but I've heard chatter. We've started working on, I think we've got 2 or 3 new songs that aren't on the album worked up. I don't know that we'll do any of them tonight because we're not quite there yet.
Right.
But we are on that practice more and more.
Okay. So as a new band that started out, I guess in the heat of coronavirus, what was that like trying to, obviously you practiced together, but what was that like trying to, did you maintain social distance? Did you wear a mask while you sung around everybody else? Like, what is that like as a musician trying to do that and still follow the guidelines?
Right. So JD and I lived together, so we quarantined together.
Right.
And there was no getting around it. If he was going to have it, I was going to have it.
Right.
So we didn't worry about that too much. And then JD is, he plays music full time, so he was, home most of the time. We were able to social distance. I worked remotely for about 8 months, so we weren't going and doing and seeing people.
Right.
McLean lives 2 blocks away from us.
That's convenient.
So he was also part of our quarantine.
Right, okay.
So we,
I like that.
Yeah, we added him into our quarantine because the 3 of us were not going anywhere other than seeing each other, basically.
Right.
So, we literally just quarantined together.
Okay.
Basically. Awesome. So
That's cool.
it was really fun. And our drummer at the time, when we first formed, also lived in town. And, drummers get to keep their distance a little bit more than, the 3 of us do.
Right.
He has a barrier there, so it was pretty cool. And then once everything started lifting, I think we played 1 show in July where there were a lot of restrictions.
Yeah.
And then, the festival started coming back out and stuff like that in 2021, and everything, started getting lifted. And masks and vaccine requirements and the social distancing. I think our first show back that we attended after COVID was a lawn show, and they did pods.
Yeah, pods.
Yeah. So we had a 4-person pod to see the Punch Brothers in Indianapolis, and I'm pretty sure that was the first bigger thing that we went and did after everything was lifted as a band, actually.
Right. So yeah, it's kind of a weird thing getting back into it, and these slow, small steps like pods, or even before pods is live streaming the shows online, watching a lot of shows online. I watched my New Year's show online.
Yeah, we did a lot of live streaming. And we also got a lot of time to practice, which was great.
Do you think that live streaming helped build your audience though, with people that may have not heard about you or seen you? You know, obviously got to see you in person.
Right. Yeah. No, I think that definitely helped. You know, once we came out of COVID, and our band name is kind of vague. You know, if you would just see that, you wouldn't know that it was me and JD and McLean and Wood. I mean, we all personally have our own, you know, group of people that know us, but I think as far as us being a collective, it helped in people knowing the name and the recognition of that.
And speaking of the name, what inspired that?
So, on JD and I's first date, we accidentally hiked 9 miles around Lake Vesuvius. We meant accidentally we meant to hike 1 to 2. I was on a 2-day hangover from being at Bristol, where I helped finish a handle of tequila on the way there. It was the hottest day in August. He brings a hammock, and he's like, let's do the cute thing. We'll hike about a mile in, hang the hammock up. And I was like, okay, cool. You bring the hammock, I'll bring the fireball. So we'll get to that. So I have a little soft pack cooler with me. That's the only thing I have with me. All he has is a hammock. In the cooler, I have like 3 airplane bottles of Fireball, a pint of Malibu rum, a little mixer for that, and like 1 bottle of water. Because to me and to him, we're hiking 1 mile.
Right.
Well, we started around the lake the wrong way, and it was hot. It was like the sun was blistering on us. We were both drenched in sweat, and we started this walk at, I don't know, 5:30 at night. So we're like, well, let's just keep going until the sun doesn't hit us anymore. We get around the lake, and we hit a sign that says 4.5 miles in or 4.5 miles out.
Like, well.
So we're like, well, I guess we got to keep going because I don't want to go walk what we just did. So during that walk, we had a lot to talk about. Not only the fact that we were hungry and thirsty, but we decided that. So we met playing music at a little place called the Pump House in Flatwoods, Kentucky. They're really, really great friends of ours. I've known them since I was in elementary school, basically. So we met there. He was playing with another bluegrass band, and we decided that we didn't want to play music together. We wanted to keep everything separate and each have our own creative outlets and all of that. And we decided we wanted to pick a hobby for each other, or 2 together. So we were going to build model rockets.
Oh, wow.
And that we talked about building model rockets for like an hour on this 5 or 6 hour hike, however long it took us to hike out of the woods. And we never ended up building rockets because we ended up playing in a band together because of quarantine. And honestly, I think it would have taken us a lot longer to give into that. But being around only each other for that long, I think it forced that.
Right.
So we are making true on our promise from our first date, because now that we play music together, we haven't built 1 damn rocket. Nor do we have the time.
Yeah. Well, you should pull a Homer Hickam and definitely build you a rocket.
Yeah, we should. We've actually joked about that at a couple of the shows. We say that we need to like bring like a rocket set and maybe like have the crowd help us build it and set it off at the end of the night. Maybe at a festival this coming summer or something.
Oh, a festival would be a perfect
yeah, a
place
festival
for
would
that.
be right.
Yeah.
Like a collective rocket build.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Speaking of rockets, there's this guy on YouTube. I can't think of his name off the bat, but it's something science, and he's a young guy, lives in Florida, and he had made this rocket out of, well, whatever the stuff is that you use to make rockets. He made this rocket. Apparently, you can only buy like a certain amount of rocket. I guess if this doesn't make sense at all. You can only buy one with like a certain amount of power that's in it, due to obvious reasons, danger risks or sort of things like that. Well, he figured out how to make the fuel, I guess, to make his own, and he built 6 of them, and he attached knives to them. Yeah, and then launched them like on a string. And these things got over 300 miles per hour. He shot one through the door of a Cadillac, and it was like a perfect cut right through it. And some through like some like kerosene bottles, or not kerosenes, like some gas cans, and like teddy bear and some other shit. It was really cool.
Sounds terrifying.
It's
Some
absolutely
Walking Dead
awesome.
type of stuff.
Yeah.
That's-
Yeah, I want him on my Walking Dead team.
Right.
That sounds like a good music video idea for you guys.
Oh yeah.
Shooting a rocket through a Cadillac door.
Through a purple Cadillac door.
That sounds
See?
cool.
Yeah.
Shout out to the opening track on the new album.
Yeah.
See?
Is
Maybe a late night host.
Is that literally right from the is that lyrics to a song?
It's the name of the first song on our album.
Oh,
It's
okay.
Purple Cadillac.
Oh, okay, I got you.
When I was too young to be dating a 30-year-old, I was, and he was really, really terrible, and he had a purple Cadillac, and it wouldn't work unless you literally beat on the starter with a crowbar. And it was like probably 80% of the time that you had to do that. So
You crawl up underneath of it generally, and
right, no, this one you could open.
Oh, okay.
You could open the
It's so much
hood
easier.
and like beat on it.
yeah.
So we kept a crowbar in this car at all times, and I drove it to like Dollar General one morning or Walmart or somewhere, just right down the road from where we were staying. And I was like in pajamas. I look like shit. I'm like, it's raining. I get back out to the car and it's just, oh my God. So I get out and I'm like trying to beat on this starter, and this like little old sweet man walks up and he's like, honey, can I help you? I'm like, dear God, please. He hits it like one time with his mouth right and just starts right up. But yeah,
Right.
Purple Cadillac. You do not want to be Purple Cadillac guy.
Yeah, I bet. You stand out like a sore thumb in that thing.
Oh, no, I just mean him in general too.
Yeah.
Even more reason to shoot an arrow through
Right,
a purple
yeah.
Cadillac.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
we've been looking for one. Since we're on a podcast right now, does anyone have a purple Cadillac that we could use for a music video? Because I have been, the best that I can think to do is just scour Facebook Marketplace until someone comes up with one for sale,
Yeah.
and then like message them and be like, hey, before you sell that.
You should at least go ahead and let everybody know you're probably not actually going to shoot a hole through it. It's probably
If
not
it's
your
cheap
plan.
enough, I'll buy
Okay.
it and I will shoot a hole through
Okay,
it.
okay. But also, if somebody's like, "Well, I got one," I would loan it for some art. But then we're sitting here being like,
Talking.
"We're gonna shoot a huge hole in it."
Yeah,
though.
we also listen. I don't know how to do that. I can melt it back down, but I can't. We're gonna need that science guy for that.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Somebody called Bill Nye.
Bill Nye, the science guy. Wow. Bill Nye, he was so inspirational as a kid, like watching him in school, and then come to find out as an adult that he's not even a doctor. He's not even a scientist.
Is he not? I didn't know this. What?
It's like Dr. Oz isn't a doctor.
Oh, right. I did know that. But I thought Bill Nye was like the man, you know?
That's what I thought too.
No?
It's,
I mean, he's got like an
Science guy.
engineering degree or something like that, right? Isn't it
Yeah,
something like that? Like it's not. He's not necessarily a scientist who's in a lab, but
I
he does
see.
have degrees of some
right,
sort.
like
I
he knows a
believe.
thing or two.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
I
feel
could
like
be
I should
wrong.
know more because I love him and I have met him,
Have
but
you?
I'm too afraid to say it on something that will be around forever.
You've spoken of it. I feel like you should explain it. It sounds like a juicy story.
Oh no, I
Yeah.
went to a book signing and a
Oh.
lecture.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, love it.
And was he in character there?
No.
No, he's just
no. I was a
Bill
little
Nye.
bit upset though. So the book that I went to the signing and the small little lecture over was called Unstoppable, and I really wanted to meet someone from his like marketing team and like really kick them in the ass for not making it Unstoppable.
I like that.
So Bill
yeah.
Nye, hire me for your marketing team. I got you, bro.
Unstoppable.
Unstoppable.
That's new. I like that new marketing campaign right
Yeah,
there.
that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I had,
Drop the science guy, just, you know.
Right. Yep. He is the head of one of the space organizations that like civilians can join and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool that, you know, he holds that, or he was at the time anyway.
Mhm.
So, and I just got a new space tattoo on my back and I showed it off to him. I felt so freaking cool. That's been quite some years ago, but I was so proud of that thing.
The space tattoo.
Yep.
Cool.
It's the Voyager Golden Record. You
Uh-huh.
familiar?
No, I'm not. Wait, the void. Yes, I am.
Okay, so you're familiar
That
with
thing's like way. It's like past space now.
Right,
It's
so
outside of something. Explain it.
It's the first thing that we've sent outside of our solar system that we've had communication with.
Mhm.
And I can't remember the year now, somewhere around the year probably 2015, plus or minus a couple years, is whenever we got back the communication. I guess it had went silent for a while,
Yes.
and then it popped back up, and the data that it was sending in said that it was outside of the solar system.
Yeah,
so,
way
and then
out there.
attached to that is a record, and it has sounds and music and a bunch of different languages and stuff from Earth.
Right.
And so it's encapsulated in gold, and they have instructions of how to play the record if it was ever found by intelligent life. So if it would crash land somewhere and someone would happen to bump into it, they could use these to decipher how to play it, the frequencies and all that.
Right.
There's also like a starburst map of where the Earth is, like within our known universe.
It's pretty cool.
There's like some Beatles songs and stuff on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very, very cool. And to think that maybe one day, like, something out there will find that and like, where is this place? And
There's a few,
where it come from?
yeah. There's a few golden records flying out around space.
There's a few. I thought there was only one.
I think there's 2 or 3 maybe.
Yeah, I want
Wow.
to think they
There's
did one.
Gemini.
Yeah, I want to
and
think. Yeah, they did one fairly recently, like within the last 10 years, also. Because
Yeah.
I think Jack White had something to do with it.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's cool.
of course.
Yeah.
Because Jack White had something to do with something going into space at one point. I used to keep up. I can't remember,
Right.
but
Wow, so, like, speaking of space, the government's kind of released some declassified documents talking about there's aliens.
All right.
Do you all believe in aliens?
okay, yes. But here's the thing: I don't think the government's ever going to give us anything. They're just
course
going to
not.
tease us a little bit. They're going to
Right.
get everybody's hopes up. But I've seen this several times. They've said, "We've got the information. We're going to declassify it and let you see it." And then it's always like, "Well, it may or may not be."
And it's all redacted.
Yeah, and it's all, and no one. No, it's going to take something landing in the middle of New York City,
It's
like
some-
Independence Day style,
Day,
with
yeah.
less fire, hopefully.
Hopefully.
But, oh yeah, 100%. But the government, no, anything they release and stuff is like, I don't know. I don't get excited when the government's like, we have things to release, because it's never anything. They never give us anything.
Yeah.
What do you think, Eric?
I don't know, man. I've gotten into this whole thing a little bit. I've gone down the rabbit hole, and like Bob Lazar and all of his
Lazar, yeah.
stories. I don't know if
Surprised
he was
they haven't
familiar out
killed
there.
him.
Right?
Yeah.
It feels I believe my intuition believes him though. When he talks, I'm like,
Yeah.
That's
this
why.
guy is
Because he is too out there, like out there as in everybody knows who he is.
right.
If he just mysteriously dies one day, it's very obvious. So he's so far beyond being able to be killed by the government, because if he does, it's so obvious who did it.
right.
All right, yeah.
Exactly.
This is turning into like a
We're getting into conspiracy
Conspiracy
mode.
I know. I didn't
All right,
expect
we're not
this.
playing
I
it.
like it.
We're not playing a show tonight. This is now a podcast
Yeah,
about
I can-
creepy things.
If I say too much, I will never be able to run for president.
Tonight
I
is
can never hold a public office. No.
tonight is sponsored by what was it? Cat Pawpaw's Bingo Service.
Golden glitter bingo. Yeah,
Golden
yeah, that's what it is.
I know. I think that there's definitely something out there. We could not possibly be the only thing. Now, whether or not that it's the humanoid little green men that all the movies depict and everyone says that they see, there may be some truth to that, but also, I mean, there could be something, not even based the way that we are, like elementally.
Right.
So there's definitely something other than us that is intelligent, more or less. I mean, I just show me the receipts and I will believe.
So, hear me out on this one. What if we are the aliens? What if,
I've heard that
what
theory.
if, like, thousands of years ago, our ancestors were mixed and mingling with some aliens, with some extraterrestrials that came here and instilled some sort of, I don't know, higher knowledge than maybe we had before, and we're just descendants of that now. And all the shit that we think is aliens is just the government and their secret shit that they've got going on, and it's all, it's all fake. Like the thought of aliens, like little green men or gray guys.
Well, I
it's
mean,
all,
we
it's all
are-
just like Hollywood.
We are Well, okay, maybe not. I was gonna say, I mean, I guess anything on any planet would be an alien,
Right.
subjectively.
Yeah, because it's not of this earth, correct?
Right. Yeah.
Right. So like a rock could be an alien. That's
Right.
Essentially, they call things from Mars Martians, but
Right.
I think it's thinking of Mars attacks now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting. Ever since I started thinking about this stuff, I just come into contact with more and more people who have, like, in a way, replaced religion to a degree with these ideas of aliens and some of the concepts you were talking about.
Mhm.
I was just we played a wedding in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. It was my best friend's little sister's wedding, and one of the bridesmaids was there, and she has an outer space podcast and is all about it. Has a lot of big claims, but I started listening to it, and the more I listen to it, the more I'm like, man, this is very interesting stuff. I don't know where it's going to lead. I don't know where it's going. But the people that I've listened to talk about this, I'm slightly naive for sure, but they bring up some interesting topics, so much that I can't even put it into words. But like just the ideas of like aliens coming here and populating the Earth or giving us some kind of knowledge. I don't know. It's interesting. I feel like it's going to become more and more prevalent in culture, the same way that religions have grown. I do believe as we go forward, like there's going to be some more and more things that's kind of playing as much of a role as a religion and stuff in some cases. So
What terrifies me is, as much as they're religious extremists, I know that they're extremists in the whole alien thing.
Right.
And if aliens are proven, help us from those people who have been preaching this for years, because it's going to be a whole new level of intense that I don't think we've ever seen.
No.
Well, remember all those crazy people that went to Area 51 like last summer, and they were going to storm Area 51, and like a bunch of people made a bunch of money off all those crazy people that were out there to try to storm Area 51.
Yep.
And of course, like, it didn't happen. Nobody stormed it. They'd walk right up to the gate, and that was about the gist of it. It's I don't know. It's I think some of those people are just they believe in it. They believe in it a lot. Imagine living out in like Roswell and everything around there is like alien themed and alien this and alien that. It's like you might believe in it enough.
Yeah.
But it's cool. It's cool to talk about aliens. Cool to talk about conspiracy theories.
Yeah, I mean, we can just cancel the show.
Yeah.
Screw it. Let's
Sorry,
just.
guys. Sorry.
We're just all right. All right. Next topic.
Next topic.
All right. The Dogman and the werewolf sightings. What do you feel about that?
Is that the what do they call that? A chimichanga?
Chupacabra. No,
yeah.
chupacabras. All right,
in
that depends. Are you
Mexico.
talking about Texas chupacabra, or are you talking about like Puerto Rican chupacabra?
Oh,
Because
like
they're two different creatures,
South
even though
Ameri-
everyone
the
keeps throwing them in
evil
together.
one that's in
Puerto
South
Rican?
America.
Okay.
Yes.
My bad.
Okay. So, originally, the in South America is where the chupacabra legend grew, and it was more of a creature that walked on its back legs, had spikes, long tail, very alien-looking, very scary thing. That's where it started. But now people in Texas are like, "Oh, well, that bald dog, that's a chupacabra." No, it's not. It's coyote with mange, and I'm saying it now. I have a lot of friends who have paranormal podcasts, and maybe I'm saying something I shouldn't say. Maybe I shouldn't go on a podcast and say that. But that's I'm taking my stance as an unprofessional cryptozoologist, but and a professional musician. My standpoint is Texas chupacabras. It's just a naked coyote.
Okay. A naked coyote with rabies, possibly. And that's why they act
Maybe
so-
at least mange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think anyone's ever seen them do it. They just see, like, oh, look, that's a weird-looking dog on the side of the road.
Right.
And they shoot it and be like, look at this chupacabra. And like, no, you just killed a sick dog. Like, good job.
See, like the videos I see on the internet of the how's it?
Chupacabra. Chupacabra.
Chupacabra. Okay. It's
Yeah.
always like this dark entity that's like swarming around with a camera that somebody's probably using a potato phone to record what's going on. And it's very just kind of eerie looking and, yeah. Never actually see what one would look like, so it's very interesting to hear.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So...
Okay, so
for more information, check out the podcast Moth Boys, hosted by a guy out of Morgantown and his brother from Buffalo, New York. It's a great podcast. They're very good friends of mine, and they book me for their music a lot. So for like their events. So check out the Moth Boys podcast too.
Moth Boys, cool.
Yeah, they're more professional on the level of knowing what they're talking about. I'm just a rambling musician.
It's fun to talk about these things,
Yeah.
though. You know, it's like nobody's ever really like a professional. You know, nobody's a chupacabra professional. Or
There are
necessarily.
some.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
What about a Mothman professional? Though?
Oh, 100%.
Like, there's a lot of
because
people that like really have studied Mothman.
now, when I think Mothman professional, I think of someone who like will write books on the topic and who like maybe does investigations, but maybe they're successful enough in their writing that they are now technically a Mothman professional. That's how I'm connected. I would say, because there are people who just spend their time and like that's their life passion is things like that, and they make money on it. So I would say in that sense. Now, in the sense of maybe a Mothman expert, that's up for debate because no one has solid answers.
Right. Do you think the Mothman was real, or do you think that there's maybe something in the water that people were drinking in Point Pleasant that had them seeing stuff that maybe it wasn't exactly it?
There was something there. And that's the thing. I'm not necessarily going to jump on the bandwagon that it was a supernatural entity that existed and just happened. Maybe it was. I don't have the answers, but I tend to like to think that maybe there was some sort of a creature that appeared, and that's what it looked like. Whatever it may be, I don't know. But I don't buy the easy answer that it's always mass hallucinations or mass hysteria or something, because I don't know, like maybe near the end where it got so
publicized,
maybe there's a point where somebody sees their bike reflectors outside after dark and they were like, oh, I saw the Mothman. But I still think there's a good chunk of people who saw some really weird stuff. And what it was, I don't know. But I think something was going on. Yeah.
Yeah, there's always something going on in West Virginia,
Oh, yeah.
And thinking about, too, like folklore of West Virginia, the story of the Flatwoods Monster? You ever heard of that? Yeah. And the little kids that came across this alien-like monster out in the middle of the woods one night. I think that was up there maybe by the new high school where the high school is located, which is like right next to I-79.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but that was back in, I don't know, 50s or 60s.
Yeah, I think it was 50s.
Earlier. Yeah.
Have you ever been to the Flatwoods Monster Museum?
I have not.
In Sutton, West Virginia. Another plug. I'm gonna send this to like all of them and be like, see you guys? Like
You have the coolest conspiracy friends, and I would like to meet all of them. Where have you been hiding all
100%.
of your conspiracy
no, that's
friends?
what,
I don't want to say conspiracy, all of your supernatural friends.
Yeah, okay. So let's see how this. So I actually went to they had a little Braxton County Flatwoods Monster little festival thing, like right as COVID was starting to die down, but it was still a little weird, and it was kind of like it was only outside, and they had like 3 or 4 tables of different booths and stuff set up, spread out. And I enjoyed going to those things because I enjoy those things. But they were also having a showing of the Small Town Monsters Flatwoods Monster documentary. And if you haven't watched any of the Small Town Monsters documentaries, that's where it's at. Because they have like 2 great Mothman ones, one great one on Flatwoods Monster, and then a bunch of other stuff. Anyway, I am getting a little off topic. But anyway.
You're good.
So I met the guys who have the Moth Boys podcast there. And we just kind of kept in touch and like talking online and being friends. But then they put on an event every year called Cryptid Bash up in Morgantown. And all of these vendors and all these artists, all these filmmakers, all of these just podcasts that are all within the supernatural realm, and creepy and conspiracy and aliens and monsters and all that, they all come from all over the country too. And it's just one day in Morgantown, and they have a couple like acoustic acts get up. They've had me come play every year, and we've just been real good friends and stuff since then. And it's just like meeting people at those things like that. Like I want to get to where I can like do every year play every one of the cryptid festivals that happen in the area, because there's a real big one called CryptidCon that goes on in Lexington. I think it just happened recently. I haven't been able to go to that one yet, but apparently it's like the biggest one in the whole country. That's like just like hundreds of vendors of like podcasts and filmmakers and stuff. All
Right.
that's like in that umbrella of paranormal weird stuff.
I love that.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever watch that show So Weird on Disney on
think
Disney
I
Channel
did.
when we were all about kind of in the same age range, but on Disney Channel that was one of my things. It's so funny that like I'm connected to Jeremiah and he's way more into the cryptid stuff than I am, but I've always loved ghost stories and stuff.
Oh,
and
yeah,
just
yeah.
that side of paranormal things, just like, oh, there's something in the hall. It's an old lady who lived here 70 years ago. You know, that kind of stuff. And but anyway, So Weird. That was such a formative show because it was this mom who was on tour with their band. She was like trying to make a comeback. She brings her family on tour, and they go to all these venues, and all these venues are haunted. And the kids are like having their own ghost adventures while she's sound checking and stuff. Anyway, it's a great show. Disney
I
Plus.
don't
Check it
remember
out.
that.
It's very nostalgic.
Do absolutely believe in
Oh yeah, ghost are
Oh
good.
yeah, 100%.
So funny ghost, not funny, but more of a vindicated ghost story is we had people over to our old house one night, and there was this just loop that would happen. So we lived on a one-way street, and the one-way street would go from, if you were looking out the door, it would go from right to left.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was very obvious when you were sitting in the living room if something went left to right, because it just felt unnatural. So the right was our foyer with the stairs that went upstairs, and then there was a game room that used to be a living room, used to be like a little bunkhouse. Like, this house was built in 18-something, 1900. I mean, it was very old. So the loop just happens, you know, and you would catch it once a week probably, and it would just catch your attention, but you'd never see anything. You just knew something went in the living room.
Yeah.
So we'd had people over, and I walked downstairs the morning after, and a friend of ours who had stayed the night was sitting there, and he was like, something about ghosts. And I was like, yeah, there's one in here. And he was like, oh yeah, comes down the stairs, goes into that living room. She's a girl, she's cool. It's like, thank you for like just confirming what I'd been thinking. Now, not that there's probably any truth to that, but that may be, you know, maybe very coincidental, but nonetheless, we both caught the same ghost in the same house, and he
That's
had been
cool.
there for one day.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
yeah.
I've never had any ghost encounters myself. I have seen some things in the sky at night that I thought was kind of alien-ish like, but
Yep.
you never know. Sometimes.
The last time we left out of here,
Mhm.
when I was here as a +1 with JD, we were going back, and somewhere around Herc, we saw a giant green flash in the sky, and we still talk about it to this day.
Whoa.
To this day, still talk about it.
Wow. And I hear about a lot of things down in Myrtle Beach as far as like alien sightings, but sometimes I think like I wonder if it's just the Air Force.
I was
that's
gonna
out there
say,
running
yeah,
maneuvers, yeah.
Yeah.
But there is like awesome. There's all kinds of sightings down there of like weird things that happen, whether it's from like actually like locals or it's from tourists as well. But I feel like West Virginia, I don't know. It's maybe just where we're secluded. I don't know.
Wasn't there
in-
like a hot spot in Virginia not too long ago?
what kind of hotspot?
Like a UFO hot spot.
Oh.
Oh.
I feel like I heard that. Okay, all right.
No, you
Carry
might
on.
be completely right. I tend to keep up with cryptid things the most. That's my favorite of the 14 subjects, are the cryptids.
What's cryptid exactly?
Cryptids are basic. That's like your Bigfoot, your chupacabras, your
Okay.
Loch Ness monster.
Okay.
Your cryptozoology, technically, a cryptid is, or a cryptozoology is technically the study of hidden animals, is what that breaks down into. And it's basically, a lot of times, they're very scientific. Not always, but there's a very scientific side of them too. That's like Bigfoot exists. It's not a supernatural being, but it's a creature that has somehow escaped our like detection. Like, but it's scientifically there. It's a North American great ape kind of thing. So yeah, so it's the monsters
Right.
side of all the weird stuff.
You want to run down a rabbit hole real quick?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, hear me out on this.
Okay.
It's a little bit far-fetched.
You
You know who Admiral Byrd is?
who is it?
Admiral Byrd.
Not by name.
Admiral Byrd was an admiral in the Navy who did multiple trips to Antarctica back in from like maybe the 30s to the 50s, and he was down there to discover what was in Antarctica. Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys. I shouldn't be diving too deep into this. This is something I should wait for afterwards, because some people think it goes into the flat Earth theory. So I'm not really a flat earther, but some things about the flat Earth theory are questionable enough that makes you question things. Okay, so Admiral Byrd was sent on multiple trips down to Antarctica to explore what was going on down there, to see if there was I wouldn't say there was aliens or anything like that to begin with. Maybe he was going down there, they had done multiple missions, or they call them, there's operations. That's the word that they use for them. And they would send the military down there to do these operations, and I believe that Admiral Byrd was sent to figure out. Okay, here, I've really got to back it up here. So. When you the flat Earth theory is that the Earth is flat, essentially, maybe conical, and Antarctica is a big, huge wall of ice, and that's what holds all of the water in on the planet. Okay, the maps that were created for it were created, I think, after the Ice Age, but there's maps that predate the Ice Age, apparently, that show something beyond Antarctica, or another land that's beyond Antarctica. So maybe it was that Admiral Byrd was sent down to Antarctica. As you know, only scientists can go to Antarctica, and there's a treaty with all the nations in the world that they just don't go there. It's like a neutral area, and it's only for scientists, and they only study things on the peninsula of Antarctica. So you can look all this stuff up and fact check it too. But yeah, it's possible that Admiral Byrd went down there, found that there was a hole in the earth, or there was a spot where the ice separated or something like that, and maybe within this hole there was these aliens or foreign entities or monsters or something like that. So
Sounds like a movie I just watched.
does it?
Now, is this more flat Earth theory, or is this more hollow Earth theory?
Maybe a bit of both, really, because with the hole being in the earth, that would explain the hollow earth theory.
Because that is the I'm not necessarily agreeing with or against. I'm just saying that the hollow earth theory is what they say explains the like the northern lights and stuff. It's
Right.
actually the light, because there are holes at both poles, and the light is coming from the people who live, and that's what we're seeing up in the skies and stuff like that too.
That's interesting.
And then you go down in it, and it's this whole earth on the inside that has no idea we exist on the outside, and vice versa.
Right. Wow, that's pretty cool.
It's trippy.
It's a cool theory.
I just thought about one of those operations. They titled it Operation High Jump, and I think another one was Operation Paperclip. I might be wrong on that one, but
Operation Paperclip was when we kept German scientists
So
after World War II.
There you go. Okay, so I'm off on that one. High Jump is for real, though. That's definitely one. So I explained that, where we kept the Nazi scientists afterwards, and they helped us come up with the nuclear plant, or not nuclear, rocket plans. Back to building rockets.
back
To
to
circle it all back around, yeah.
To building
Wait,
rockets.
is your name based off of not?
I am 3.4% Ashkenazi Jew, okay? I found that out on my ancestry. It took me 3 drop-down menus to get to anything other than white. It was white, European, a little bit more. You're a little bit Jewish.
Jewish.
Yeah. Also pretty German too. So I mean, listen, I'm not my ancestors. It's hard telling. Speaking of ancestors, and admirals and stuff like that, my one of the songs that we play is about my great grandfather, and his great grandfather was a son of the Revolution. I found out.
Oh wow!
So he actually led the Battle of Point Pleasant,
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, which was like considered one of the first like major battles of the Revolutionary War, and was assigned to guard like some of the really like main prisoners of that war, during all that. So that's as far back as I can take my ancestry.
That's cool.
I don't know what he did was good or bad.
Right.
Makes for an interesting story.
Fair enough.
So don't judge me based on what happened hundreds of years ago. But
Sure.
Well, nobody should be based. Nobody should be based off of anything from things that happened, hundreds of years ago. You know what I mean? It's like we can't really make up for that. It's like, but we can learn from the past so that history does not repeat itself.
Yeah. No doubt, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
man, this got really.
Real talk.
This got
Gone so
real
many
tough.
places.
We just went from
I love
aliens
this.
to like be good people, man.
I love it.
Yeah, welcome to Grassroots, y'all.
How about
Yeah.
are you guys multiversers or parallel versers?
Oh man.
I think there could be a parallel, maybe not multi, but who knows?
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Well, I mean,
always wondered if there was a
okay,
parallel
multi is also parallel, but are you thinking? Are we talking parallel, or are we talking, like Russian dolls?
Stuff. Thanks.
Sit down, buddy. This is our drummer Wood. Just sit down. Hi, buddy.
Welcome.
Hi, buddy.
hey,
I can't tell if you're ready for
touch my
combat
bone?
or going to
Touch
the
my
baseball
bone?
game.
Both.
Stroke my bone.
It was close.
Thank you.
Give it one more shot.
I don't have the correct embouchure. It's a French word for lips.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah,
Very done.
Success.
I'm gonna have to take this out front, I think, for the
You
game.
might, yeah.
Yeah, you should.
When McLean plays that stupid thing with
I was-
keys on it that he blows in.
Melodica.
Yeah,
I was just
that's
telling
a-
them I bonked myself in the head with ours that sits up on the shelf the other day trying to take pumpkins down.
Oops.
So that is
Would you
a
like to wear it? Would you like to
authentic
trade hats?
bullhorn. This is the real deal.
We should trade hats.
Real deal.
You can be an alley cat.
Alley Cat Strike Back.
I'd rather
Second
be
Disney reference.
I'd rather be an alley cat than a dirty bird.
An Alley Cat.
that looks good on you.
Yeah.
Both of you
Yeah,
actually.
the right-
You should be a
The
baseball
right
player.
pitch. Oh, it was backwards.
No, you had it
We
right.
had it. For some reason, the tag's in the front.
Tags on the front.
That's
Where's
weird.
Canada.
Colorado.
That's almost Canada.
Right. Yeah.
Most of the same letters.
Yeah. Very close.
I think they're just high out there and then, sewed it in on the wrong side.
Maybe.
Like people aren't high
I can
here.
see that.
Right here. Good point.
You enjoy your whiskey.
It was great. Thank you.
I got jealous out front. You guys were drinking whiskey. I was just sitting there drinking Budweisers.
You
Oh,
could have had a
man.
whiskey. No one
Yeah.
stopped you.
I helped JD make his first Instagram post.
Good for him.
Did he make
Excellent.
Okay, so my backstory: my fiance does not do Instagram, nor has he ever. However, there is one that exists with his name on it that people will tag him in occasionally.
Teamwork.
And I don't know that he's ever had the app downloaded. So I guess Jeremy just talked him into downloading Instagram.
Nice.
What picture did he post, Jeremy?
It was a picture of the two of us.
Nice,
Just the two of us.
nice. So Jeremy got posted to JD's Instagram before
Yes.
anybody else did.
Before you
feeling
did.
jelly over there?
No, that's fine.
You feeling jelly?
That's fine.
I got all these toys over there.
Yeah, first on the gram. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Hey, it's 2022. You really gotta like nowadays. You gotta use social media to get your brand out there. Get your
Hate it.
music
So
out there.
bad at it.
I am too.
Yeah. Oh,
I hate
know.
it.
Yeah. It can't just be like being a musician anymore. It's like you've got to be like multiple things as a musician and in a band to get it all out there.
Yeah.
TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
Yeah.
Twitter's
It's a
done.
lot.
Yeah. Disclaimer and accolades here is that if you see something posted on Building Rockets Media, 98% of the time it is McLean doing it.
Mhm.
So I deserve no credit for anything that goes on our social media. He makes the posts and I share them. And that's about as good as it gets.
You could say, like, for your fans, if there was one thing that they could help out the most with when it comes to social media, aside from liking and sharing, what would it be?
It's a very
Can
good
you
question.
repeat the question?
I feel like more than liking and sharing is like commenting and like
Yes.
interacting,
Engagement.
and I think that we as musicians, like me personally, like I think engaging with fans is something that I really want to work on because I'm kind of more I'm timid, man. I stick to myself.
Right.
I don't know, just how I am, but I'm trying to be better about that. But even in the social media landscape, like being able to just kind of talk back and forth and build those relationships, like that's such a
Right.
crucial thing, and that's what music's really all about. More than having the most successful record in the world, it's really about like building. You know, you have your team of musicians, and you have your bands that you're friends with, and then you have your fans that you're friends with. You know?
Right.
So like anything that can mirror the goodness of that's in the real world, and bring that to social media. Like I think that's a great thing, and it helps.
Right. It's the community that you build, that makes it what it is.
Right.
Right. And of
For
course, your fans are part of the community. Your family's in the community. Yeah, it's a really special thing, and you keep that one-on-one sort of touch with people.
Right.
Not just like post something and then if they chime in, like not say anything either. It's I think it means more to people if you do interact with them and you comment back, sort of thing. And
Sure.
some people that may be also timid or afraid to speak out, there might be that one time that they comment and then you answer back, and that makes their day, not only for the day, maybe even the whole week.
For sure.
So.
And we're really lucky in Parachute Brigade when we're in that mode. Justin, who's playing bass tonight for Jay Hatfield, I mean, he's just so good at making connections with people and being just like, he's just like a hug of a person. If a hug was a person, it'd be Justin Pugh. And he's the man, and he's so we're really thankful for him too, because he's so good at just like keeping in contact with people and just keeping that good energy going. So that's definitely thankful. I just remember to have this helmet on.
Do I look like the Edge from U2 when I wear this hat?
You look just like the Edge.
No, you kind of look like Liz Claypool. The hat on,
see
yeah.
that.
I prefer Liz Claiborne, but
Liz Claypool. Okay.
Maybe he's born with it.
maybe it's Maybelline.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. No,
Alright.
McLean is definitely our Justin. Honestly, I am solely on social media to read McLean's comments on people's posts. Like, honestly, McLean's, if you are friends with McLean on Facebook, please just, like, start watching for the comments that he makes on posts, because a lot of times the comments that he'll make will get more likes and reactions than the post itself. So now that's our benchmark of whether or not we've made a good comment, is does it have McLean likes or not?
Stamp of approval.
That checks out. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like you were saying, it's just the commenting and the interacting on posts and stuff like that. And then if you come to a show, let everybody know how cool it is. Let everybody know if you liked it or you didn't like it, or if we need to suck less, or if we were great.
Right. Give that feedback. Give that those comments, like
Yeah.
we said.
Yeah, we like the feedback for sure.
Well, guys, we've been at it for just about an hour now, believe it or not.
Time flies.
It does when you're having fun and talking about conspiracies. And, to wrap it up, would you guys like to go ahead and plug your social medias and, where people can find your music at?
So you can find Building Rockets on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. When we do that, the handle is Building Rockets Band. Also on YouTube, Building Rockets Band, you'll be able to find our album on there. Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, we did the whole distribution package. So anywhere music is strummed, we're streaming.
Okay. Eric?
Yeah, everything's at the Parachute Brigade.
Okay.
And as far as like my own personal music, I'm down the line. Parachute Brigade's back in the studio now. We're working on some new songs. Then after that, I might throw out some of my own songs, just anything left over,
Right.
So be looking for that too. But you can follow me at Eric C. Robbins on Instagram. Do most of my stuff there.
Okay, awesome. Jeremiah?
It's at J Hatfield Music everywhere. What date is that? Parachute Brigade, yeah, that's what.
Yeah, what date is that?
Fly.
February 18th. February 18th.
February 18th.
Yeah, Parachute Brigade's playing here again on February 18th.
Oh man, that
Yeah.
sounds like a good birthday party for me.
There you go. Come on
Dang.
down.
No, I think JD already has that date planned out. I'm not gonna. That's Dirty 30.
Oh, nice. And John's opening, right?
Yeah.
And our buddy Jonathan Sarton is opening up that night.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can find my personal music, the music I write, under at J Hatfield Music on the social medias, or also on anywhere on the internet, wherever you stream your music, it's there at under just J Hatfield, the letter J, Hatfield.
Okay.
Yeah, on your streaming platform of choice, insert here. It's
Correct.
there. Yeah.
All right. Well, awesome. Thank you guys. I appreciate it for coming on. And,
Thanks for having us.
Shout out to everybody watching right now. If you guys want to see them live tonight, come down here at the shop. We're in Dunbar, West Virginia. Look it up online, figure out the address, because I still don't have it down pat yet.
1233 Ohio Avenue.
Thank you very much. Come down and see them. Show is getting ready to start right after we get off here, so make sure to come out and support live local music. Check out the Grassroots 304 podcast. I'm on Instagram at Mike Grassroots. I'm on Facebook at the Grassroots 304 podcast. I'm on Rumble now too. Check me out on Rumble. Also on YouTube. This video will go up in a couple days. So thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a great night.
High five.
Awesome.
Let's do it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.